Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be my top build for Shawn Michaels DX Army. It's going to be a little bit different than maybe you've seen. I'm all about consistency, and you can make this very consistent and probably win the vast majority of the times. You will need this DX moment. Not super hard to get now. The two things here are the multiply gems generated from move strength 3 and the create all color gems strength 3, or generate more times 3. This is gonna, my big problem with HBK has always been if you don't get enough starting blues on the board, you're screwed. You're almost always gonna have at least 2. That'll give you the 8 you need. But before we get into that, I know I'm gonna have all kinds of people in the comments saying, Mherex, use the plate where you break blue, you get purple MP, you can use the purple move twice. Nah. That ain't it. There's all kinds of times you won't break 2 purple gems. You won't match 3 purple gems, like all kinds of times. So I'll take the 50% bonus damage on my multiplies every single time for the consistency. And then we're only looking to activate this plate once. And honestly, I think that's good enough that you're going to, on turn 1, beat people the vast majority of the time. This is way safer, way more likely. If you have a ton of blues, then maybe you don't chuck the purple gems at all, but it's all 3 1 MP moves. Make 3 random gems into blue. You're going to use that first every time. Make all of your multiply gems into strength 5. They're going to be much bigger, and then the Moonsault destroy 8 random. So we only need 8 gems on the board all the time. This is as whaley as it gets, this whole setup, but it's really the only way he is consistent and will do enough to win consistently. This whole setup, this specific way is the only way I would ever use him in Feud with 100% strap. I think this is what he needs to be consistent. Otherwise, like, I'm just going Muda, West, Hall of Fame Macho at Acro, Zombie Orton, Judgment Day plate sort of thing for me. So we're gonna chuck the 6 random gems, very likely. Yeah, see, we didn't get a match there. So right away, we're already better off with our multiply move. We got plenty of them. Our pyro plate. And they're 3.1 million for each multiply times 8. It's going to be like a little bit more than like 24 mil. It's like 27 mil, I think. Yeah, 27 mil, which would be 54 million at gold, ish, give or take. But you also have to remember there are feud damage perks that add a lot, and then line bonuses. The other thing to watch out for too when you're watching these HBK videos is make sure the first moment, the 2 or 1, isn't leveled. Because if it is, that's going to skew his blue gem damage a little bit, because he'll have 25% more blue gem damage. Luckily on this account, this one is not. So that would also skew it a bit. But yeah, I'm going to run a few so you can see how many times, even if we were using the other plate, if you want a boomer bust, of course you could. That's not my style. There is a chance like this one where you could cascade altogether. So that one we would have been able to hit it twice, right? With the other plate. But yeah, this is how I would run him for Feud. And like, you're going to beat every single striker in the game. You would just need to stay away from showboats. Stay away from showboats and full star max level people, and anyone under like 65 million health in Feud, you're going to beat like every time with this setup. So he would be super and not using multiply down trainers, obviously, or coaches. But this setup is like super efficient. I'm just going to run a bunch real quick so you can get an idea. If you're a gambler and wanted to put I believe it's smoke plate is the break blue, get purple. You could see if that was going to be your flavor. See there, we wouldn't have got again. And you can see I'm not cherry picking. Like, in my experience, 6 gems making a match is probably at best 50% of the time. So 50% of the time, you know, you're going to hit even less than you're seeing me hit with the smoke plate. 50% of the time, you're going to hit way harder. But I'll take the consistency where I know how hard I'm going to hit every single time. That's how I run, and that's my preference, so... But you would need 100% strap, and you would need the moment maxed, and you would want exactly these trainers. That's not really optional, to be honest. I kind of thought we'd cascade there. That was set up perfect for a 5 match, so there will be times also where this happens. This is the closest I could get to recommending HBK, though. And I wanted to show people. Also, people in my faction asked about HBK with the plate. And to be honest, I hadn't ran him. I probably tried this plate on, like, literally at least 20 people, and I hadn't tried HBK because I was a little bit worried about the randomness of the gems. It's been better than I thought, though, as far as the cascading into turn 2. Because honestly, as much as he hits a match, he misses. Like, he missed that time on the second time after the big cascade. Very common that he misses. And we're only like 5 minutes in, so I'm going to give you guys like a really good cross-section of battles so you have a really good idea. Because, like, this is a big investment, like, to put this plate on him and then have to move it or to take him to gold. So I want to give you guys like a really good cross-section. And you could decide yourself. Like, with the plate on, he hits super hard. There's another cascade to a pin. So yeah, I can't see myself using him over what I have. But if you're a big HBK fan, and the plus side is he's really safe, or not really safe, really fast, and low charge. So those are like plus sides. So there again would have been a miss, right? Like, it's literally about half and half if you're gonna, if a smoke plate would hit it again. But it's very fast. Of course, with that plate on, he's probably gonna, with this setup, do like an easy 70, 80 mil, maybe even higher with a Feud setup at gold, if you were to gamble. But that's gonna be like, by the time you count cascades in, I would say it'd be less than half the time. I just feel like this is the more consistent, better route personally. It's still very impressive, and it's very, very fast. Oof, almost made it to turn 2 again. I'm good at that, though. And this is why I can't use random people for me. You guys have seen how many times I cascade. I'm a cascade magnet. You're probably better than me. But my main goal here is to give you guys a good sample, a good cross-section. So you guys have, like, okay, this is what HBK will look like over time, you know? So I'm just trying to crank through these battles as much as possible and keep a running commentary for you so it's not completely boring. So that's kind of the goal here. Then the great thing is you can play it in your sleep. I would imagine the AI probably plays it super well, but I don't know that for sure. If you ordered the moves the opposite way. AI typically plays left to right. That's very slow, though, as a player. Myself, in most of my videos, I do set them up left to right. When I'm playing the game myself, they're always left to right because I don't care about defense, not really interested in it. And then the AI, even if you set it up left to right, doesn't mean it'll follow it every time. It certainly doesn't. There's no consistency with the AI. It's consistently inconsistent. That's the only consistency I've found, personally. And that's a couple in a row the smoke plate would have benefited us. This one we might end up one short, though. Also, the thing to think about, too, is if you're making a match and then you're hitting the blue again, you're going to cascade way more often. That's the other thing I didn't mention, because now you're chucking 6 gems twice, and that's 12 gems. I feel like that's very, very unlikely if you hit 3 gems the first time that you're not going to hit more the second time. I feel like at that point I'm cascading all the time, so I really, really personally don't like that play at all. This, I think, is really the smart, safe, efficient way. If you have all the stuff, right? Obviously, smoke plate is much more easy to obtain than Pyro Princess. But yeah, we would have been chucking 12 gems into that board, and at the end, you know, I just think it's not necessarily super safe. I'll run one more, and then we'll keep, that way we can keep it under 10 minutes. But yeah. I do think, like, this is the only way I could potentially see myself running him. And it would be fun because it's really fast. I just get super frustrated with cascades, where I lose my turn 1. But it is really freaking fast, and it makes HBK a viable feuder for sure, in my opinion. At gold even, which is pretty cool. think we got just enough there. Yeah. So yeah, top build for HBK. I know it's whaley. I know it's going to bother a lot of people, but it's kind of the only way I could see running him. Otherwise, I think there's just better options. Let me know what you think in the comments. And remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Not too bad. Mid-Carter, I'm expecting you to take him to the moon with this plate.